This is a fun road crossing. What's going on? I am southern PA today. I am at Caledonia State Park. I won't be staying in here for very long. I'm at the Thaddeus Stevens Blacksmith shop. We'll check this out real quick as I tell you what I'm up to. So this weekend is Spring Maha weekend down here at Caledonia State Park. I'm going to be attending Spring Maha. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this was founded in 1830. So I'm going to be here for Spring Maha, which is in the state park here. But right now I'm parked over in the Appalachian Trail parking lot there because I'll be leaving the Jeep there overnight. It's a beautiful park. I am going to be using a couple of trails here in the state park to connect over to the Michaux State Forest, where I'm going to just wing it as far as trails. I'm going to use, I think it's called the flat rock trail system I'm going to be using. I'll use some trails, I'll use some forest roads, I may even use some surface roads to zigzag my way up across the forest, connect back into the Appalachian Trail, where I'm going to head back down to the park. I didn't want to do an out and back, so I figured that's a good way to do it. I'll camp, I think, at the Quarry Gap shelter, but I've got another option, which I'll talk about once I come across it, that I could use for camp if there's a lot of thru hikers there. The shelter areas and those camp areas really meant for, what was that? Oh, there's a heron sitting in that tree, just flew away. The camp areas and the shelters are really designated for the thru hikers. I'm just here doing a section hike, so if I get there and there's a lot of thru hikers and there's no space, I've got myself another option. Okay, so right now I'm right here at the Thaddeus Stevens Blacksmith shop. I'm going to, there's a trail that takes me, where does it go? It takes me up this way along the creek up to this Quarry Gap Rd. I'll hike up this Quarry Gap Rd and then head off into the state forest up here. I'll wind around up in here, and at some point today I'll connect with the AT, which is right here, and I'll come back down. Shelter's in here somewhere, and then I'll come back down to the park tomorrow. And that's what I'm doing. It is a different season down here altogether. It was 35 degrees when I left the house this morning. I'm about 3 hours south of home, and it's, I mean, it's, some of these trees are fully leafed. All right, enough talking. Let me find this trail I need and then start walking. That's not the sign I want to see in the bathroom. I know they're not talking about in the bathroom, but it's kind of funny. So I stopped at the park office, used the restroom. I've been driving for 3 hours, so I really needed to use the bathroom. And I'm still on this Midland Trail. It's going to take me all the way across the park, it looks like, over to the Quarry Gap Rd, which now hike up to the forest access up there. But I did stop in, got a map, and kind of window shopped for some kind of souvenir, because I like to grab a souvenir at state parks when I go to new one, a patch or a shirt or something like that, or a patch and a shirt maybe. So far, I know I'm just half mile into the day, but this is a gorgeous area. Love these pines. Look how tall these things are. This Midland Trail is marked easy, like easiest trail, which I would agree with. It's nice crushed gravel, very flat, wide open, and I can't wait until they invent smell-o-vision and I can transmit the smells of the forest through videos, because this just smells incredible. All right, short little side trail off of Midland Trail brings me over here to this furnace dam, it's called. Some folks over there fishing, looks like. Just past a lady that was bird watching. Good day for it. So looking at the map, this is gonna kind of loop me back up to that Midland Trail. Excuse me. But the Midland Trail is the trail that's gonna take me right into where Maha is gonna be held, into the group camping area. So I might just poke my head in there and see what it looks like. It won't, I mean, it's only a couple hundred feet down the trail from where I need to turn. This is gorgeous. Look at this. But it's gonna get warm. It's supposed to be mid to high 80s today. Luckily I've got my zip off pants. This should be the Midland Trail, walking back up to, and that'll put, I think it's called Hosack Run, or Hosack Loop, something like that. It's right there. That's where Maha will be this weekend. Let's go take a look. No, actually this doesn't have a name. Hosack Run is the loop up top here, which I'll be going by in a couple minutes. But I'm down here to group camping. Oh, this is nice. Now they picked a good spot for this. Why do they do it here every year? Wow. Oh, there's plenty of room here. Lots of trees. Alright, I'm gonna check this out a little bit. Alright, so that's a pretty cool little area right in there. Plenty of trees. And while I was in there, I wound up, there's somebody setting up a hammock. I'm like, oh, you here from Maha? And he's like, yeah. Start looking at his stuff. I'm like, that's pretty nice. It turned out as John from Trailheads. So we sat there, we were just talking gear for a minute. But yeah, it'll be cool. So there's gonna be people here starting tonight. But I'm gonna continue with my original plan, do just a little backpacking, and then come back down for tomorrow. Well, that was a big pileated woodpecker. He landed over in that stump. Yeah, he's just kind of sitting there. There he goes. Okay, up to my next trail junction should be right here, and then this will take me out to what looks like a RV campground, another little camp loop. I'm not sure. It's at Hosack Run, and then it'll be the Quarry Gap Rd. Alright, so that's the end of the Thaddeus Stevens Trail, which I didn't know was on. There we go, there's the bridge. So I'm looking forward to spending a couple of days in the park here and being able to check it out a little more. What I'm seeing so far, it's really nice. Alright, this is where I come into the campground here, and then I'll be on this Quarry Gap Rd for about a mile. I guess we'll see what that's like. I know it's not straight uphill, but I'm going to climb a little bit on the road. That's alright though. A nicely set up park. Everything I'm seeing looks like it's been updated within the past 10 or 15 years or so, maybe. All the historic stuff is well maintained. That trail was beautiful, and it's just a beautiful forest. So this will be it for the state park today. Once I hit this road, I'll be bordering the park in the Michaux State Forest, and the rest of the day will be in the state forest. This is Quarry Gap Rd, and apparently it does not go through. Ooh, butterflies. Okay, so this is gravel. That's better than walking on pavement for a mile. All right, up on top of this road hike. This little side trail, that's like the top end of Caledonia State Park. About a quarter mile around there is the AT, which comes down. That'd be too easy. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to go this way. So this is I'm now in Michaux State Forest, and this is a multi-use trail. Horse and hiking, I think biking. Not sure what else they along here, maybe snowmobiling. I don't know. But when I get right in here somewhere, there is, go around this gate, and off to the right, a little ways down, there will be a campsite, and that is what I have rented for tonight. So just in case I need it, as this is Greenwood Rd. And then once I find this campsite, I will bring it back. So that way, so if I can't stay at the shelter, there's too many people, or I just don't like it. When I get there, I'm like, ooh, this sucks. I'll have this spot down here, so I'm guaranteed to have a spot to camp tonight. I'll go this way. Lots of rocks. Almost made it across. Luckily it's not deep. There's a split here, but there's a camping marker here, so I'll follow that. This is the trail I want to be on right here. That just looks like it dead ends over in that little spot. I thought on the website it said follow that road, but maybe not. Unfortunately, that campsite's not marked on my forest map, although I do have signal. I can pull it up online. All right, I was able to pull signal and to confirm that the campsite continued on, and here it is right here. So this is primitive campsite number 12. I think it's got a name. It just says 12. If I can remember what the name is, I'll put it down at the bottom. So check it out real quick. This is my just in case. Got a fire pit, and all I need is 2 trees right in there, or right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, there's a bunch of options. All right, cool. Or even if I have to go down in there, got the campsite. It'll be fine. So this is rented. I could stop right now and stay here if I wanted to, but that's too easy. That's too easy. What's in here? Is there another little fire pit? So, oh yeah. Oh, hammock in here all day. Okay. So, yeah, this is it was a little bit of a gamble because I could only see a couple pictures online of what it looked like, but I could see the forest around it. I'm like, I can make that work. So, backup plan, just in case, because I didn't want to if I got the shelter and not have a spot. I don't know what the trail looks like past the shelter before. I didn't want to have to walk all the way back down to the car and go get a hotel room. So, the state forest in Pennsylvania, there's a reservation fee for sites like this. They used to be free, but all good things come to an end, I suppose. And people do have to maintain these and maintain the forest, and I get it. And I know there's some grumbling about the reservation system now. Like, why don't they just open a reservation and still make it free? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. But it was $10 for the site, and there's like a $6.95 reservation fee, so $16, $17, let's say, plus tax. So just under 20 bucks, I think it was. It came out like $19 or something like that for the site, which, if I don't use it, I know that money goes right to the forest, right to the state forest, and it helps them out a little bit, so I'm okay with it. I'd rather have that bailout in my pocket and not need it than need it and not have it. I mean, this is state forest, so I could technically, as long as I'm 200 feet off a trail and 100 feet from water, right, then I'm good. I can camp anywhere. But peace of mind sometimes is better than hoping, especially when you're 3 hours from home. All right, so I'm gonna have a trail like this for a lot of today. I think that's what I'm gonna have. I know there's a big reservoir coming up. At that point, it's 20 after 11 right now, so maybe we'll get over that reservoir, and that's where we'll stop for a little break and lunch. I'm only a little over 3 miles in right now, and no plan whatsoever. Should be nice. And I got plenty of daylight and gorgeous weather. This is awesome. I'll talk a little bit about the gear I brought with me while I'm on basically a road hike here, forest road hike. I've got my Coyote Pack hammock. I've got my Dyneema tarp, which I don't think I'll need. I've got my summer quilts, which should be fine. It's supposed to get into the mid 50s tonight. Even if it gets into the 40s, those quilts will do me fine. I've got I brought the only filter I'm relying on this trip. I didn't talk about it in the last video, or in the last camp video I did, where I brought my Caledonia, my new Caledonia. I said I was gonna talk about that in that video, and I just never did. Got sidetracked. So I'm just relying on that for this trip. And I've got, so the Caledonia Bee Free is, if you're not familiar with it, it's a filter in flask kind of a setup. So this is like a squishy, it's kind of like the Canuck Vecto bag, but it's got the filter on the inside, which you can kind of see right in there, this blue piece. That is the filter. It's a hollow filament filter. It's nearly as good as the Sawyer as far as what it filters out, but the flow rate is phenomenal on this thing. Cool little pond here. Not going to filter from that, which prefer running water, which there's plenty of. But basically you just dip this in the water, fill up the flask, and then it filters as you drink. Reminiscent of the Life Straw Universal that I had a few years ago that worked really good on the first trip. Now that was designed to go into I think an Echo Vessel or a Nalgene. I use it in my Nalgene, and which you can't squeeze the Nalgene, so it's a hard body canister, and it worked really good for the first, now I'm talking about the Universal, the Life Straw. It worked really good for the first 2 trips I took it on, and then it just seized up. And even to this day, that was what, 6 or 7 years ago I did that video, maybe 5 years ago, and to this day I still get comments on that video from people who are still buying brand new Life Straw Universals, and the same thing is happening. And Life Straw is just like, oh well, you gotta soak it in bleach or soak it in vinegar. You shouldn't have to do that. So it's kind of the same concept, but this is a lot the flow on this is a lot better, and I'll show you when I need to filter water how good it is. And you can squeeze it so you can get a little more pressure on it, and it works like the Sawyer in the Vecto, where I can do this. I opted for the 1 liter flask, and they make one that's like a 0.67, but it's a full liter. So for most trips this will be fine, I think. I don't know how it'll work in the winter, because I have seen some people have problems with them freeze, because you can't take this filter out and throw it in your pocket, as far as I can tell. So I don't think it'll completely replace my Sawyer. The Sawyers are just bomb-proof filters, and I know some people don't like the flow rate on them, but you know it's filtering. So, but yeah, this is, I like this just to carry. Even if I carry this and my Sawyer, the Sawyer weighs next to nothing, and my Vecto bag. That way, it can never hurt to have a backup filter, I guess, because they really weigh nothing. So I don't know, I'm not that concerned about a few ounces of weight. But this is the only one I got with me today. So far it's working good. I mean, that is filtered water from my house, so it's not doing a lot of work yet, but we'll see how it does. And oh, the nice thing about these is there's no to clean them. You don't have to back flush them. You just fill it up with water, you shake it, and it cleans it out. We'll shake it more vigorously than that. Oh, a little bit of a view. That breeze feels nice. So yeah, other than that, I've got my pretty standard summer set with me, summer gear. I have additional gear in the Jeep for Maha this weekend, because the weather, you never know what the weather's going to do. It's supposed to be really warm today and tomorrow, and then it might drop into the 40s on Saturday night, so I brought additional quilts just in case. You just don't know. You don't know. And I've got my Osprey Exos backpack with me, which is awesome for, it's a 48 liter. So that's been a great backpack for me last year. So I expect more of the same from it this year. Not quite as easy to get water from a shallow source as the Vecto bag, but it worked all right. I got enough for now. To my pleasant surprise, this hasn't been as road-like as I was expecting it to be. It's a wide trail, definitely a multi-use trail. It's nice, gorgeous forest, and I should be coming up. Oh, I see the mark right there. Coming up to a trail junction here, and this is the Locust Gap Trail. And I could follow this; it would take me straight out to the next kind of main road, main-ish kind of road. But I think I make the left on this next trail, which will take me over that reservoir, just like Locust Gap will. But it will eliminate a little bit of road hike. So. There's the yellow ridge trail I'm gonna take. Okay, and this is Greenwood Rd. Maybe I turned off of Locust Gap. I know I was on it for a little bit, but Greenwood Rd, kind of a road, I guess. And they're, like I said, they're gonna take me basically the same spot, but this looks like a little bit smaller of a trail, according to what the map legend says. And it is warm. It's warm. I haven't stopped to look at the thermal drop, but it definitely feels like it's in the 80s. Maybe it just feels like next I got the hat on. So I think once I get down to the reservoir, that's where I'll stop for lunch. I might swap the hat for a bandana. That helps my head breathe a little more. Oh, this trail's a lot rockier. Really digging the changes in the ecosystem on these little trail systems here. And this is the flat rock trail system. I did verify that. So if you're around this area or coming to this area, and that's what this is. This is the flat rock trail system of the Michaux State Forest. It's gorgeous. Oh, I love that smell. These long needle pines. Oh, man. Just like that, down to the next road. And ultimately, I'm going to go to the left to make my loop. But once I get to this road, I'm going to the right, because that is where the reservoir is. So let's get down here, go check out this reservoir, and it'll be time for lunch. All right, that was Yellow Ridge. Highly recommend Yellow Ridge Trail. Even if you're just coming out for a little day hike, definitely recommend that. That was gorgeous. All right, over to this reservoir here, and to find a spot. I know there's a couple parking areas, so I'm gonna hope there's a picnic table or two, or at least a bench, and I will have something to eat. Alright, so that just looks like a trailhead parking. It doesn't actually go to the water. There was a trail that goes down along the water there. I walked down it real quick, but it's real swampy, really wet there. So I'll go up to this other parking area and we'll see. It looks like it's right on the edge of the water. I know there's a boat launch way on the other side. You can see the cars parked over there. I'm not walking that far. It takes me a little. It's a pretty big reservoir. I did see a trail here. Maybe this avoids the road. Oh yeah, it's blazed. Let's go this way. Check that out. What do you think happened here? I don't know if that tree's still alive. Might be. But it lived for a while like that. Snapped over. Kept growing. Oh, that's pretty cool. Alright, 5.5 miles in. And I got a little spot here by the reservoir. There's a nice little like fishing pier right there. There's some people there enjoying this beautiful day. Oh, this is gorgeous. So I'm gonna have a couple turkey sausage sticks and cheese, relax a little bit, and then get back on the trail. So that was a nice spot for lunch. I was gonna record a little bit during lunch, but the road's right there, and there are a lot of people out enjoying this gorgeous day. So it wasn't the most peaceful spot, but I mean, it was nice to look at the creek. So I always suggest that if you're gonna go out and do something, you have a plan. You know where you're going, you tell somebody where you're going, you know what your agenda is gonna be, and you stick to it as best you can. But if you are comfortable enough with going solo, with just kind of a rough idea of where you are and no real plan, you will have an amazing adventure. I'm not saying you should, just saying you could. You should always have a plan and always try to stick to it. I don't always do what I say, and this is incredible. That is a gorgeous reservoir, and like I've got so many options as to what I can do for the rest of the day. I'm gonna head up here back onto the road and head to what I believe is called the Wigwam Trail, and that'll carry me up to my next road intersection. And from there, we'll see what time it is. It is only 10 of 1 right now. I've got all kinds of time. We'll see how steep that climb is, because I could either run right over to the AT at that point, or follow that Wigwam Trail over a few miles up and get on the AT up there. And we'll see. I'll see what this climb looks like, because judging by the map, it'll tell me what the next climb is going to look like and what kind of time it'll take. So I'm just going to go from there. Just really making it up as I go. But it is, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous forest, gorgeous day. And really good to see people out enjoying it. So that hawk is flown off, and that call it was making sound a lot like an eagle. But like I said before, can't always be right. A lot of birds make a lot of calls. So there goes another one. They're everywhere out here. There's so many hawks out here. It's awesome. All right, the Wigwam Trail should be right up here. I had to just double check the map and make sure I didn't walk past it while I was looking at the hawk. It should be maybe this right here. So I think I see a post right there. Is this Wigwam? This is Wigwam. All right, back into the woods I go. This should be a little bit more aggressive trail, and let's see what the sign says. This is for bikes, people, and horses. Okay, so it should be fairly open. Wigwam Trail is, I think this is about a mile, maybe 2 or 3. I haven't really looked. Oh no, it goes. Follow it to the end. I don't know if there's any more. I was just looking at my watch. I stopped for a second, pulled up my watch to see what the elevation was. I heard something move off to the right here, and I looked up, and it was a giant turkey. A huge turkey. You're so goofy. It was right here. I just looked up like, oh nope. Took off to the woods. Didn't fly, he just ran, so he might still be here. Let's see. Don't worry, buddy. I brought my food. I'm not looking for you. Where is he? Oh, he could be anywhere in there. They blend in so well for such a big bird. So yeah, it looks like I've got about, well, now about 250 feet of elevation gain. It's kind of gradual, so make it a little steeper, but not too bad. I'm gonna go right back up along that power line I was on before. All right, I think the turkey's gone. All right, so done with the bulk of the climb. There's like a little more of a kind of drop down, come back up. But up top here, it's kind of faded. But they do have difficulty emblems on there. And that one says that was what they considered difficult. So that's good to know. All right, so that would take me back to those power lines I crossed before. I'm gonna stay on, I guess, what they consider number 5 trail. This is Wigwam, and that indicator is broken. Can't see what that one said, but if that's difficult, that's not bad. The worst part about that is it's like 80 degrees. I'm wearing pants. I could zip my legs off, but these trails are a little scruffier, so I'm leaving them on. And these are fairly cool pants because they're designed for hiking. But going from 35 this morning to like in the 80s right now, like boom, went from winter to summer, and then we keep on switching back and forth. So the first few 80s and 90s hikes kind of get you, especially when you're climbing. But I think also I'm in no hurry. I don't care. I was kind of kicking around, I hear birds, I stop, I listen to them. Now, the GoPro obviously is not going to do this justice, and it doesn't look anywhere near as steep as that is, and it's a pretty open trail, so does that give a little better idea how steep that is? That's vertical. It's flat, horizontal camera. It's like straight across. It's pretty steep. Not the steepest. Pretty steep. This is probably why it gets a difficult rating. It's not hard, but that didn't sound like a turkey. Maybe it was. Ooh, view. Actually, when I was coming in, you can see this ridge from 81 south, or 81 north too, but from 81. And as I was driving in, I think you can see the spot from the highway. It'd be right over there. It's be a nice place for an observation tower or something. It's a pretty nice view, minus the power lines. But that breeze feels awesome right now after that climb. Look at that. So that's where I came across earlier. I came up and wound through that forest and crossed right over there somewhere and went down, and the reservoir's over there. That's awesome. Yep. Again, not saying you should, but sometimes random adventures bring you places like this. Who would have thought? I'm gonna take this in for a minute. Coming up to the end of this section of Wigwam, and I've got a decision to make here because I've got a couple options. Let's see, it is about 10 of 2, and I've done 7.25 miles. Now I could go over there and follow. I thought that was Wigwam as well, but maybe it's not. Let's go see what that trail name is. Maybe this is where Wigwam ends. This is Cutter Trail. Alright, so I could take the Cutter Trail, take that down, you'll follow along that ridge over there, and then go down. But then I gotta climb and go up over that ridge and get the other side. Get on the AT. Not the worst thing in the world. It is only 2 o'clock, but then I got to come back all the way around here because I got to get back over there. That's where I'm camping. When I looked at the map, when I was looking at my different options, what I'm doing right now was my main idea, what I was going to do. So I am kind of following my plan. And that was an option. If it was 10 degrees cooler today, I might do it, but I don't know that I want to climb. It's a really steep ascent, and seeing how steep that ascent was over here, right before you get to the top, it looks worse than that over on that side, or like that but longer. And I don't know if I want to do that in the heat of April. So I might just go this way. I could also actually take the roads and road hike all the way down and over that, but that doesn't sound, that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to road hike the whole thing if I don't have to. So I might just take this down to where it connects to, I think it runs right into the AT. I gotta pull the map. It either runs right into the AT or it takes me to a side trail, a connector trail takes me to the AT. So I might just go this way. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go this way. I'll pull up the map and see. I can't remember if this takes me right to the AT or if it takes me to a connector to the AT. But I'll figure that out. I'll get on the AT. I'll start heading south again. And I'll just take my time. It's gonna put me, I think, like 2 miles or 2.5 miles from the shelter. But I'll take my time. If there's views, I'll look at them. If there's flowers, I'll smell them. I am in no hurry. This is one of those trips where the point is to be out here and enjoy it. And man, am I enjoying it. This section was incredible. I spent a lot of time just standing there listening to the different birds. And even though this is right next to a power line, I didn't mind it. I can't hear it here. Back further, you could hear those power lines crackling. So I'll pull the map. We'll see exactly if I can get on another trail or right on the Appalachian Trail. And I should have brought sunscreen. Should have brought sunscreen. Ooh. I don't want to be standing underneath that. I don't know if that came through. It's like yep. Get out from underneath the high tension line. So this is going to take me to a forest road intersection, and then the AT is going to come in from the right, kind of follow the turn, and then it'll go off. So take this right down to the AT, but it's going to be a little bit of a road hike, maybe half mile. Oh, okay. All right, so I don't know if the GoPro, I'll see if I can zoom in on it. I saw something run down the road before, and I couldn't tell what it was. I thought maybe it was a coyote because it's kind of brownish, but if that just came through on the camera, that was a gigantic turkey. It had to be this tall. It had to be 3 feet tall, I think. That was huge. That was probably one of the biggest turkeys I've ever seen. That thing is huge. So I'm on Stillhouse Hollow Road, and this is going to take me down to a forest road intersection. It's going to be a couple roads come together, and then the AT kind of joins in with those and then goes off to the left. So got a little bit of a road hike here. Maybe you'll see more turkeys. I hope he came through. Big turkey. Michaux State Forest does have an auto tour, so you can download the map and I'll show you all those numbers. I know this is an official vista. Got a little room you can pull off cars here, and it's pretty nice. Very nice. All right, to the end of Stillhouse Road, whatever it's called, Stillhouse Road, whatever that road is, it's done. Stillhouse Hollow Road. That's that one there. There's another road there. There's another road there. There's a forest road there. There's another road here. This is a crazy intersection. But I'm on the AT now. So there's a white blaze right there across the road. That's north. And then here's the next blaze on this tree. So you'll follow this little bit of forest right here for a little bit, a minute or two, and then it will divert into the woods, and that's where I'll stay. All right, I think I kind of motioned that the AT goes to the right. It doesn't, it goes to the left. That intersection confused me. So here we are, the AT, the Appalachian Trail, into the woods I go. Nice. So I've been thinking about it, and I'm pretty sure of all the solo backpacking I've done, this is the first time I've done anything solo backpacking on the Appalachian Trail. I've done solo day hikes on the Appalachian Trail, but this is the first time I've done a solo backpacking where I looped the Appalachian Trail into it. How about that? Not to have anything against the Appalachian Trail. It's just more widely used, and it never really feels like you're solo when you're on the Appalachian Trail. And I know that right now, Adam Z is just leaving work, and he's driving down to, I think it's Pine Grove Furnace State Park. It's the next state park north of here. It's about between 17 and 20 miles, something like that, from Caledonia State Park on the AT. So he's starting there tonight, so he'll be down here. He just said about 5 o'clock he'll be getting down here, and he'll start tonight. He's staying, I forgot what the shelter is north of here. He'll be staying there tonight, and then tomorrow night he'll be staying at the shelter I'm staying at tonight. And then I think he's meeting up with DB at Maha, and he's gonna get a ride back up. I think that's what he said the plan was. I really can't get over this, how flat this section of the Appalachian Trail is. I'm so used to what we have up by us, and like into New York and Vermont, it's a lot rockier. This is like a freeway right here. I think I'm really only about maybe a mile or just under a trail mile from the shelter. So this has just been plummeting elevation. There's actually steps in some spots here, but it's a little rockier here, and really losing elevation. I'm guessing the shelter's down low, so it seems like, or lower. This just keeps dropping. I was level with that ridge over there when I started. Actually, I might have been a little higher than that ridge when I started. I had no idea it dropped off this much before the shelter. And I gotta be almost right on top of it. I don't think it goes any, I don't think it goes up at all. Oh wow, I got some color today. Yeah, orange and red. Alright, so I made a Quarry Gap shelter, and I'm just kind of looking around here. There's a chipmunk or something right there. There's the privy up there. There's 2 tent pads, and that's all the tent pads I see. But the shelter itself is really nice. I'm gonna walk around a little bit more and see. Yeah, check this out. Got a nice swing. I could make something up there work. Got a nice swing. Got these, there's like 2 small shelter areas in here. This one is, you can probably fit 4 people in there if you were really close. And then you got like a little picnic area. And then another little picnic spot there. This one's being painted. Spring is out that way. Yep, so they got that blocked off for a fire ban. And it's too dry for fire. So let's see. And there's got a couple hikers here already. So I wouldn't be able to make, I mean, I might be able to get a hammock on one of those pads, but there's bear box. Okay, what's the sign say? The sign says Caledonia State Park, Rocky Mountain Shelter is another 5 miles, 5.5. Only 2.5 miles from the state park. And then there's nothing else down this way. So I'm gonna have to think about this for a minute, see if I want to make something work up behind the shelter, or if I want to just move on over to the campsite that I rented, which might be my best bet here, because I still got, it's only 3:30. Yeah, I could make something work there. I'll look around and I will get back to you. All right, just a nice little spring here. And this is, I mean, the shelter's right there. So a little spring with a net or something in there. What is that? There's some netting in there. Must be to keep things out. Unprotected water, boil, treat, or filter before use. Heads down that way. And yeah, no tent sites over here either. All right, thinking time. Okay, I just found this sign right on the other side of that little picnic table, tenting area. Let's go take a look, see what we have here. This is really rocky. I'm guessing it goes down here. Water source right here. Okay, so there's fire pit here, which won't be used. And then hammockable. There's a tent pad. Two tent pads. There's a couple more up there. Here's a spot over here. It's a fire pit. Love fire pits. Oh, well, what do we got here? I can get a hammock in right here. I'm gonna go grab my pack, and I think this is my home. This is as far as I got. I hung a hammock. I still got all my gear sitting over there. Set the hammock, I'm just chilling out. Gorgeous. No tarp. I'm not going to put the tarp up. I don't know if I could fit a tarp in between these trees, actually. But there's 0 chance of rain tonight. And honestly, it's not that buggy right now. If I can get away with no bug net, I'll do that too. Might be the last time this year I can do it. So I won't be using the fire pit for a fire, but I might use it. I might move one of those rocks inside and use it for my stove. I did bring my canister stove, my pocket rocket, just because I know it's been dry. There's been a lot of forest fires. there's a burn ban. You're allowed to have a stove, but that's got a shut-off valve, so it's real easy to turn off. Alcohol, you know, something out of the blue happens, and that alcohol stove tips over. All the alcohol is on fire, and it's all over the place, and that could be bad. So canister stove it is for this trip. And I'm gonna times it. That's almost 4. I'll start getting stuff situated here. It's too warm to have the quilts on anyway right now. It's like 82 or something like that. All right, I'll go back to being lazy. This is the Mexican style adobo rice and chicken. With pinto beans, onions, cauliflower, zucchini, chilies, and lime. That sounds really good. So that's what I'm going to do for dinner. Let's see, this takes 1.5 cups, 355 milliliters. All right, so all right, did a couple little chores while I was cooking. Filled up my water. This should be ready to go. Looks like I'm gonna have at least one neighbor. I was just down at the spring, and guy doing a flip-flop just got up here, and he's like, "Any more sites up there?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, there's plenty of room." So he'll be heading up here shortly. And oh, that looks a lot better when it's cooked. Ooh, it's hot. That's pretty good. Little hint of lime in there. Oh, that's tasty. I'm not going to make you watch me eat. I'll bring it back a little bit. All right, well, it is 7:30. The sun, well, 7:36. The sun's going to set in about 20 minutes. But it's already down behind. Oh. This guy over there set his tent. Yeah, the sun's already down behind the mountain. And the weather says it's still 79 degrees. My thermodrop disagrees and says it is 67. So I am expecting it to be a little cooler tonight than they're forecasting. But that's okay. I'm ready for it. This is my view for the night. The bugs have kind of dropped off because of temperature dropping. And hopefully I can keep the bug net off. See some stars. Before it gets too dark, we'll wrap this one up for tonight. I gotta check some photos and maybe watch a video or two. And then I'll drift off to sleep and see you in the morning. Well, good morning. I slept in. It's almost 8 o'clock. Oh, I needed that. Oh. All night. It was just whippoorwills. They didn't stop. They don't bother me. I don't mind them. But anytime I'd even start to wake up a little bit, I'd hear them. And they're flying right over the hammock, and they're right in camp, and they were all over the place. Oh, I know they're not everybody's favorite bird because they are loud and they are, they're almost a little belligerent. Make that call over and over and over. Whippoorwill, 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 whippoorwill. For 12 hours. 12 hours straight. Oh, man. Actually, I like hearing them. Yeah, but just waking up, gonna make some breakfast, and I'll be back down to Caledonia pretty early. Don't really need 2 liters of water for today, so I got about 3 miles to go, but better safe than sorry. Look at that. They got flowers potted all through here. What a beautiful spot. Beautiful, beautiful little spot. Good job, Potomac Appalachian Trail Club. And I did not use the bear box. I was thinking about it. If I was down here, I probably would have. But I just put my bear canister. There's another trail that went out behind my hammock to another little tiny campsite. I just put it over there. All right, so here's what we got going on. We're going to Caledonia State Park, US Route 30, 2.6 miles. And you notice I have my trekking poles because I'm pretty sure this is a aggressive downhill. As it looks like on the elevation map. So I don't mind using trekking poles when it's something like that. All right, about a half mile out of camp, past that gate there, and there's this really cool boulder field up on the hill. That's awesome. And it opens up. I thought this might be the intersection that I was looking for, or that I would have been looking for last night. Look at this old sign that's in this tree. It's a huge tree. Wonder what that used to say. So that intersection must be coming up shortly. All right, so behind me there is the intersection I would have been looking for last night. And there's 2 ladies there doing a 40-mile section hike, taking a break, so I didn't really want to record and interrupt their quiet time. I asked them about the ascent. Wait, am I still on the AT? This looks blue. Am I in the right track? Oh, here it is. Right? Nope. That's for that one. That looks blue on there. Is that supposed to be white? That clearly looks blue. Is that just me? That looks blue. All right, they said, either way, they said the descent is only about 0.2 miles, and it's not terribly steep, but it is short. So I'm gonna pull on a map, make sure I'm going the right way, because that really looks blue to me. Okay, the map verifies that I am going the right way, and this one looks white. Those other ones look like a light blue. Look like a side trail. Maybe it is also a side trail. Who knows? Oh, okay, it was blue. Those were blue, because that is the trail I was on earlier, or yesterday. That Locust Gap Trail, which is a light blue. So my eyes weren't playing tricks on me. It is blue and white. All right, my descent should be coming up shortly. Intersection time. All right, 3 Valley Trail goes straight. That's the blue trail here. Appalachian Trail goes to the left to the park. Have the AT North, 3 Valley Trail, AT North and park. No horses. Sorry, horses. All right, I'm pretty sure this is where my descent starts. Okay, so I'm guessing the relative elevation on that map made this look a lot worse, or I'm getting lulled into a false sense of security, because this doesn't seem so bad. I've stowed away the trekking poles here, and we'll see. But I'm just kind of coming down through this little valley here, this little ravine, and so far so good. I might eat my words here in a minute, but came through a little rockiness, wasn't horrible. This gets a little steeper, it's still not bad. I'm used to the way the AT climbs the gaps up by us, where it's just straight up, straight down. Maybe because this is in a state park and it can be used in some of their like day hike loops. Maybe it's a little more graded for that. But I think right down there, it's pretty close to the bottom. I don't think there's a lot further to go down past that. If there is, I don't think it's much. It's remained moderately steep, I guess, but it's such a well-groomed trail. There's a few rocky spots, but nothing crazy. And there's the main day use area of the state park. That's it. The climb's just about, or the descent is just about over. That is the most difficult level trail in the park. It looks bad from right here, but that's really nothing. Very nice. All right, this is as far as I'm going. This is the Route 30 crossing, and there is let's see what this says. Yep, Route 30 state park boundary, road construction. So I went through yesterday to get here. The thing that sucks is that the car is like a mile that way. I don't know who that was. I mean, there might be somebody from Maha. Yeah, the parking lot is a mile in that direction. So I'm going to head back that way. And I think what I'll do is head right over to the Maha grounds, drop off my pack, pick my trees, maybe set up, then walk back to the car with no load. And then I'm gonna go hit find a store or something. Like I gotta get a little cash for the raffle. I gotta do some things before I'm staying here for the day. Got a couple hikers here. I'm not sure how far they're going. They were just asking about the trail, water conditions, shelter, trail conditions, all that. So I gave them as much information as I could give them. That's gonna do it for this adventure. Now I go start another one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was gorgeous. Loved it. Loved it. The state forest part was probably the most rugged part of the trail for me. I mean, this wasn't the AT down here. Pretty smooth. Low rocks, not bad. All right, off to Maha I go. Got to figure out which trail takes me all the way across the park again. I think it's this trail right here. I think it's this power line trail. But I think I got about a mile to get over there. I could probably stop my watch. So 2.67 miles for today. Just under 10 miles yesterday, so we'll say like 13 and a half, something like that for the day, not including what I'm going to do right here. So not bad. All right, hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next.